What's up, guys? Welcome to G Whiskey. My name's Jeff. This is a channel where I offer my thoughts and opinions on a specific whiskey, and if you stick around at the end, I'll be giving it a score as well. That sounds interesting. Hit subscribe down below. And with that out of the way, let's jump into our review. Today, we're looking at the Oban 12-year-old Cask Strength. Stick around. Alright, so we've got a really interesting whiskey with us today. I've got the Oban 12-year-old Cask Strength. This is part of Diageo's 2021 special release lineup, and it's not the first from that lineup that I've looked at. I've also looked at this one right here, the Lagavulin 12-year-old Cask Strength whiskey. Interesting stuff. That review didn't go so well. The Lagavulin kind of took the whiskey world by storm last year, and everyone was singing its praises, and I get why. You know, it's good stuff, it's decent stuff, but I came down on it pretty hard just because I thought it was overpriced and overhyped. And while it was delicious, I don't think the production costs on it were that high. Like, this was entirely matured in refill bourbon casks, so while I do like that kind of whiskey, it's not exactly the most expensive or elaborate production technique, so I don't know where my money went. Or actually, I do. It went towards the marketing, it went towards the pomp, it went towards the flash. Yes, it is a good whiskey, but I did not get my money's worth. Obviously, that's all a matter of opinion, but that's where I landed on it, and I made it very clear in my video. But here I am, I'm back for more, this time with an Oban. We've got the same age statement. This one's a 12-year-old, and like the Lagavulin, this one is bourbon casks and refill casks. There are some pretty obvious differences between the two, though. Obviously, they are different whiskeys from different distilleries. We're not going to have the same flavors. But beyond that, we also have a different price tag, and that's something we'll get into later when we touch on value. But still, having been burned by the Lagavulin, why did I pick this one up? Well, the first and easiest answer is that I split this bottle, and that definitely softened the blow financially, but much more importantly than that, I've said this before, I'm a huge sucker for Oban. I think they make beautiful whiskey. It's actually one of my favorite distilleries. Unfortunately, it's owned by Diageo. And they're a tricky company. Like, I know I'm being tricked by them because they deny us the opportunity to drink their whiskeys, their beautiful whiskeys, at a higher ABV and naturally presented. And then they dangle them in front of us once a year with these beautiful bottles. That's very collectible look to them, and they charge more than they should for what's inside the bottle. Some of us resist the urge to buy these outright on principle. Some people dive in and, start collecting them. Others, like me, get kind of roped in, but hesitantly. But it seems like every year I do pick up one of these. And the thing is, they are often really good, really interesting whiskeys. And the nice, or not the nice thing, but the interesting thing is that value is not the same. The whiskeys are not the same. Obviously, there's different levels of quality, and they do come in at different price tags. So really, these are not all made equal. There is that to consider. And in terms of this Oban here, aside from the fact that I'm a total sucker for the distillery, I had heard a lot of really good things about this release. So curiosity got the best of me. I picked it up, and let's see how it went. Let's jump into our review, see what the whiskey is all about. And in the meantime, if you can kindly leave a like down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Of course, we have some good specs on this one. We have a healthy ABV of 56.2%. It is not going to be chill filtered, and it's not colored. Now, they don't say that, but it's understood. As with the Lagavulin, as with most of these 2021 releases, I think the artwork here is incredible. They do have people divided. Some people absolutely hate it. I'm a big fan. I think this is beautiful. I love it. I think it's collectible. I want to pay a lot of extra money for this. Yeah, obviously I'm being sarcastic, but the bottle is cool. It's a 5 out of 5. These boxes are always fun. I'm going to read some out. As our fable goes, wedged between the highlands and the isles where Oban's distillery came to lie, twin foxes were born into light and dark. They were relentless opposites. One, with a bright orange coat, possessed the highlands' gift for lightness and speed. The other, dark as smoke, possessed the isle's camouflaged mystique. Ooh. And it's funny, the legend on this box starts off the same way as the one on the Lagavulin box, which is, as our fable goes. So, their fable, like, they're just making this shit up. And that's fine, I guess they're owning it, but, yeah, I mean, I appreciate the honesty. So I did not add water to this one. I've tried it with water, I prefer it without. Let's try our nose. Oban on steroids. Yeah, it's a bigger, it's a bolder, more honest type of Oban. Okay, sharp ginger. We have some vanilla in here. We have some seaweed in here. We also have some fruits in here, like there's definitely oranges. There's a little hint of banana, but more like banana bread or banana muffins. Yeah, it's a big forward nose. It's very ballsy, but we do have some nice nuance behind it all. Really cool. Now our palate. Wow. Punchy. Oily. Mouth coating. Spicy. We'll start off with some ginger, some salt in here, some vanilla, like a sharp vanilla, some black peppercorn, bit of Sichuan pepper. This is a cool one. We've got burnt, unpopped popcorn kernels, which is very random, but it's in there. Also just like buttered popcorn and those juicy oranges again. And now our finish. I love this finish. Buttery and salty. It's buttered, salted popcorn. Still more of that ginger note in here. More of that vanilla. We have some Sichuan pepper in here. Definitely some caramel. We get dried apple, dried fruits, orange creamsicle, and just a little touch of white wine in here. And unlike some other Obans where you can sort of detect the smoke, but not really, we do get the smoke in here. This is long and biting and complex and beautiful. Gorgeous whiskey here. Total stunner. This is incredible stuff. And you know I tore into that Lagavulin, but credit where credit is due. Both the Oban and the Lagavulin are very, as I said, honest whiskeys. They're unadulterated, spirit-driven whiskeys that let the intrinsic character of the distillate shine. Obviously, I was way less enthralled by the Lagavulin, but this one, it's right up my alley. Do I think it's better than the Lagavulin? Yes. I think this is gorgeous stuff. All of our flavors in here are just like they're cranked up to 11. And of course, you do have to like the Oban House style in order to appreciate this. Like, you need to like that sort of salted maritime character, salted caramel notes. That's all in here, and it works beautifully. So if you can get behind this character, and I think a lot of people can, and also if you're frustrated by the fact that pretty much every other Oban has weak specs and comes in at 43% ABV, and you want to try something like full blast or Oban on steroids, as I put it, this'll do. It is a straight line of flavor, but it's a bold flavor. It's one of those naked, raw whiskeys that us enthusiasts love. And really, honestly, I didn't know how much I needed this one. You know, Oban, it's a distillate that I love. It's not usually available in IBs. I don't think I've ever had an Oban IB. And every other Oban I've had is obviously, you know, the weaker specs. So I think this is the first naturally presented cask strength Oban I've ever had. And I'm all for it. Another nice thing here is that Oban is a gently peated whiskey, and usually that flavor is kind of like hinted at in the other releases, but it's more pronounced in this one, especially in the finish. The orange notes, the vanilla notes here are great. We have those peppery notes and those ginger notes that give it some bite. And then you have that butteriness, that salted, buttered popcorn note. How cool is that? The thing about this stuff though, and I've brought this up in previous videos, it always seems to pop up in the comment section, is that Oban is a take it or leave it profile. People like me who are totally in love with it, and then you have other people who are just kind of indifferent to it. They don't see anything too special there. And everything I love in their other releases is what I love in this, of course cranked up to 11 with the cask strength. But if you're not a fan of any other Oban expressions, I don't know how special you're going to find this one. For those of you out there who already like Oban, or maybe not even Oban specifically, but you like those very characterful coastal malts, you know, stuff like Old Pulteney or even Talisker, if you like that kind of thing, I'm sure you'll be on board with this stuff. I love it. This is great. This is the kind of whiskey that I like to drink. My score is 93. Now, of course, there is the elephant in the room. This is still a Diageo special release. I did come down pretty hard on that Lagavulin, and a lot of what I took issue with the Lagavulin is still kind of true here, but to a lesser degree. Listen, it still frustrates me. You know, we're paying a premium for the opportunity, the rare opportunity, to taste these whiskeys as naturally presented expressions, you know, cask strength, and we never get those otherwise, and that's because of Diageo. That still frustrates me. The bottles, which I think are beautiful, are designed for collectability. That still frustrates me. But I was mad at the Lagavulin, whereas I'm not mad at all with this one. And that's going to bring us to value. I thought the Lagavulin was too expensive for what it was, and in my opinion, I didn't get my money's worth. And, you know, as controversial as this opinion may be, I think that the Oban here is a much better whiskey. Not only that, it's about $30 US cheaper than the Lagavulin in my market. So it's cheaper and it's better, and as a result, I feel okay about it. And you know, it's not a cheap whiskey by any means, but it is one of the few Diageo special releases that I really don't have any problems buying. In fact, I bought a backup. I bought 2 of these. It's definitely worth the money. This is a superstar whiskey. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you want to help support the channel, please consider becoming a patron. Otherwise, you can like, comment, and subscribe. That is always appreciated. Now, this is an interesting whiskey, and I do want to hear from you. Have you tried this one? What were your thoughts? Was it worth the money? How would you compare it to some of the other special releases? You can let me know down below in the comments. Also, in the comments, you can let me know what you want to see me review next, and I'll keep it in mind for my upcoming videos. Bye, guys.